You arrive. The path is narrow. It hugs the shoreline. Your footsteps make faint squelching sounds. On the packed earth, almost no sound, just dampness disturbed. You continue walking. The air presses against you. It's thick, saline. It clings. It fills your chest. A constant presence. You look up. The sky is vast. Above the dark water, blacker than the sea between the swells. You look down. The path curves to the left, away from the bright harbor lights. The city is gone, just the curve of land and the expanse of sea. You walk. Each step forward brings you closer to the water. The path dips slightly. You feel the spray on your face. It's cool, refreshes you. You continue. On and on, the rhythm of your steps is steady. The movement is hypnotic. You look back, but there is no city anymore. Just the curve and the endless water, the wind. It's a soft sigh against your ears. It carries the faint cry of the gulls high above. You pause for a moment, listening the waves. They come in a steady rhythm, crashing nearby, and then a faraway, gentle swell. You feel the vibration in your bones, through your soles. You keep walking. Your pace is slow. It matches the waves. You feel yourself slowing down. The world narrows to the sea, to the path, to the salt air. You reach a bend. The path widens slightly. Here, it runs parallel to the water. For a while. You stand observing the expanse before you. The sea stretches out, endless, black and glinting. Here, where the light reflects from the lighthouse beam, it sweeps across the water. Again and again, you watch it. It moves slowly across the black surface. It illuminates for a brief moment, a patch of white sand. Then it's gone, lost in the darkness. It returns from another direction. You feel the beam, not on you, but in the sky, a point of brightness among the stars. You follow its path with your eyes. It seems to dance on the water. The beam is a long tongue of light reaching out into the deepening night. You think of the keeper of the old lighthouse, somewhere inside its walls. You imagine him watching too. Since before you arrived, his vigil is older than the city, older than the path. You stand here, watching the beam, watching the waves, watching the sea. You feel the salt on your skin. It's everywhere, in your hair, in your clothes. Take a deep breath. You hold it. The air fills you with that salt taste. You feel it deep in your lungs. You exhale slowly. The air escapes, carrying the taste with it. You look out toward the horizon. It is indistinct where the land meets the sea. blur together. In the darkness, you feel small, truly small, a single speck. On this vast coast, you turn your gaze down the path. Behind you, the city lights are just pinpricks, now tiny sparks in the distance. They pulse faintly. They remind you of the world you left, but they grow dimmer. Each moment, they grow farther away. You continue walking. Your steps are soft. On the path, you move slowly. The lighthouse beam is your guide, or perhaps it is just a light. In the dark water, you think of the sea. It's immense, endless. You think of the waves. Each one is a story of wind and moon and the pull of the tides. You feel the pull, a deep resonance within you. The sea calls, always to the land and back again. You stand here on the path. The wind whispers through the reeds near the water. You hear the waves breaking on the shore. You feel the dampness on your skin. You close your eyes for a long pause, just for a moment. You feel the salt air. Breathe it in deeply. It tingles in your nostrils. You feel the cold of the sea on your face. You are alone, truly alone, here on the coast. At night, you stand watching the beam, watching the sea, watching the path before you. The path ends. You continue walking along the line where land meets sea. You feel the rhythm of your footsteps, steady like the waves. You feel the pull of the deep below you. You look down at your feet. The path is wet from the spray and the dew. You think of the keeper of the old lighthouse. He watches from his tower. His beam cuts through the darkness. His beam is a promise of safety to the ships. Below, you wonder about the stories of the sea of shipwrecks and lost treasures. You wonder about the keeper, his life, his solitude, his connection to this place. You feel it too, this connection to the lighthouse, to the sea, to the night. You take another step. Your foot sinks slightly into the packed earth. You feel the solid ground beneath you. You feel the vastness around you. You are here on the coast at night with the sea and the lighthouse beam. You continue walking on and on into the soft darkness, followed by the beam of the old lighthouse. The water laps closer now, a constant, rhythmic whisper against the sand, growing louder until it drowns out other sounds for a moment, then retreating again, leaving only the vast, empty space filled with salt spray and the taste of the sea. You are sitting on these smooth rocks, worn down by ages of wind and wave. Their surface is cool beneath your palms. smooth where you press, rougher along the edges, sharp enough to scrape against your jeans if you shift too much. But mostly, they are just large, comfortable slabs of stone, warmed slightly by the sun's low angle now, a welcome heat against the growing chill in the air. The breeze picks up, a cool kiss on your face, then strengthening, carrying the salty tang deeper into your lungs. It whispers through the sparse strands of seaweed clinging stubbornly to a rock, partially submerged at low tide. A green, accordion-folded thing that washes back and forth with the retreating water. You can feel the air move in your own chest as you breathe it in. It lifts your eyelashes, tickles the skin on your arms. It stirs the fine sand on the rocks, revealing tiny, iridescent shells that have lain hidden, waiting. The wind shapes itself into small, fleeting eddies, swirling around your legs, lifting stray pebbles, sending them clattering down onto the already vast beach below. Your skin feels alive in this wind. The sun is lower now, sinking behind the wide curve of the land, painting the farthest reaches of the sea in streaks of orange and purple, then deepening the blue closer to shore. The light on the water is shifting, turning the ripples into patterns of shifting color, like liquid oil on a bruise. It's a strange beauty, this raw, untamed power. You watch a gull, a solitary one, circling far out, its cries sharp and distant, fading quickly in the wide space. The silence isn't absolute, but it is deep, broken only by the wind and the sea. Sometimes a faraway boat engine sounds, a faint cough, a reminder of the world you left behind, or perhaps just the reality of this place. It passes, leaving the silence again. You can hear the distant gurgle of the waves against the base of the cliff where the lighthouse stands, a constant, low drumbeat against the stillness. And then the light. It cuts through the gathering gloom, a steady, unwavering beam of white light that sweeps across the sky, the water, the rocks. It moves slowly, predictably, a comforting rhythm against the wilder pulse of the sea. The beam is bright, blindingly so, painting the rocks you sit on in stark relief, highlighting the dark lines of the seaweed, the lighter patches of bare stone, the tiny crabs scuttling away into the sand at its approach. It climbs, it descends, it pauses, it moves again, tracing the shapes of the rocks, the curve of the land, the dark water swallowing its light. The light, it's the first thing you look for now. When you arrived, when you found this place, the beam was your anchor, your guide. It felt like a promise, a silent guardian against the infinite black that surrounds this shore. It cuts through the fog sometimes, It pierces the haze. It finds you even when you don't know exactly where you are. It doesn't judge, it just points. It sweeps past. A moving star dropped down onto the earth, illuminating for a moment the vast, indifferent sea and the tiny speck that is you, watching. The cool breeze swirls around you again. It lifts your hair from the nape of your neck. Your stomach grumbles softly, a low reminder of time passing, of food left untouched back where you came from. Or perhaps it just reminds you of hunger in general, the simple, constant need. The light beam pauses for a long moment, high now, cutting through the upper air, the color in it beginning to shift from white to a warmer, amber glow as the sun dips lower. The air is still, except for the whisper of the wind, the slap of the waves. You feel the weight of the moment settling onto your shoulders. There is no hurry here, no deadline. Time stretches thin, and the vastness of the sky and the sea seems to contain all of it. The rock beneath you is warm from the day's sun, but the air is growing colder, demanding more layers, more shelter. You shift your position slightly, seeking a better angle, a way to absorb more of the sun's fading warmth, while still watching the light move across the water. Another gull cries, closer this time, its sound echoing strangely in the wide space. You wonder if it will land, if you will see its silhouette against the bright water. But it circles, it calls, and then it is gone again, swallowed by the distance. The beam sweeps lower, dipping towards the water's surface, catching the foam on the cresting waves, turning it into silver streaks across the dark water. It's a dizzying sight, this beam cutting through the infinite blue, searching, illuminating, moving. It feels ancient, powerful, yet strangely gentle. The wind begins to whistle more loudly now, finding purchase in the few blades of grass growing in the sand near you. It whistles around your ears, making the silence feel even quieter. You can hear the distant cry of another bird, fainter, perhaps a seal somewhere on the rocks below the cliff. You wonder if they hear you, if they feel this same pull, this same isolation, or if they just pass through, another small thing making its way in this immense world. The light beam pauses again for what feels like an age. The air is still, the sea is calm, the wind holds its breath for a moment. And then the beam moves. It traces the curve of the land, the jagged edge of a rock formation you couldn't see before, now revealed in its brilliant light. It moves slowly, patiently, illuminating the world for you, bit by bit, moment by moment. It is a strange comfort. This beam in the sky, it feels like a promise whispered on the wind, a silent word spoken long ago by someone who built this stone, who watched the sea the same way you are watching it now. It feels like a presence, a guardian, a constant. It sweeps past, a bright line in the darkness, cutting through the salt air, illuminating the vast emptiness around you, turning it into something less terrifying, perhaps, just familiar, just part of this place. The cool air presses against your skin now, a definite chill settling in. The sun is almost gone below the horizon, a thread of gold fading from the western sky. The light beam glows with an orange fire now, searching the deepening shadows, finding shapes in the rocks, painting the wet sand a brighter, more desperate white. You feel the need to go inside, to find shelter from the growing cold, even though the lighthouse itself is miles away, a distant memory. The thought of warmth, of dry clothes, of something solid beneath your feet is a powerful pull. But you stay. The wind picks up again, a stronger, colder wind now, whipping your hair across your face. It carries the scent of the sea, sharp and clean, but also of something else, something older, perhaps the tang of brine and time. You can feel the temperature drop. Your nose feels cold. Your fingers begin to ache from the chill in the rock beneath you. The beam is low now, dangerously low, cutting across the water with a brightness that seems. The warmth begins deep in your bones, a slow, insidious heat seeping through the thin fabric of your clothes, through your skin, settling in your marrow. It starts subtly, a promise, the promise of complete release. Your eyes are heavy lids now, barely lifting against the gray, bruised light filtering through the water-splattered glass of the lantern. The beam cuts through the gloom, a steady, unwavering presence, but it doesn't illuminate much more than the immediate vicinity, the slick flagstones, the dripping ironwork. Your feet submerged in the cool, swirling water near the base. Feel the uneven stones, the deep grooves worn by centuries of tide and time. One foot slides forward, then the other, guided by instinct and the fading grip of consciousness. The water is higher now, swirling in through the open doorway, carrying with it the sharp tang of salt and the faint, acrid smell of guano from the seabirds nesting high above. It swirls around your ankles, then your knees, pulling you forward, a gentle current that doesn't resist, but encourages. Your hands drift from your sides, fingers limp, weightlessness pooling in your limbs. You lean against the rough-hewn stone wall for a moment, your breath coming in soft, unthinking sighs. The weight is immense, a welcome pressure, settling deep within you. Then the rock, smooth, yielding rock beneath your back, a place to rest, to anchor yourself against the rising tide of sensation. Your body, buoyed by the strange warmth, finds purchase, melts into the crevice, the sharp edges of the ledge softening against your skin, conforming to the shape of you. It's not painful, merely accepting. The cold air kisses your face, but it feels distant, irrelevant. The warmth is deeper, a furnace ignited in your very core. You feel it expanding, a slow, controlled burn that doesn't threaten to hurt, but simply consumes, transforms. It's the heat of the lamp within, bleeding outwards, reclaiming you inch by infinitesimal inch. Your chest rises and falls now, a slow, deliberate rhythm. In, a long breath, filling your lungs with the cool, damp air of the sea, holding it for a moment, feeling the buoyancy of it, the vastness. Out, releasing it slowly, letting the sound of the waves crash against the rocks be the soundtrack to your exhale, letting the rhythm of the tides guide the ebb and flow of your own breath. In, steady, deep, out, long, drawn out, matching the great, slow heaving of the ocean. Each inhale fills you, heavy with the salt and spray. Each exhale releases you, letting the tension, the worry, the frantic energy of the world beyond the water's edge, the light's beam, simply dissolve. You are a part of the swell now, a part of the rock, a part of this endless, breathing, sighing place. Your awareness narrows, focusing on the sensation of the rock beneath you, the gentle press of the water against your legs, the rise and fall of your own chest. The lamplight is a soft glow now, a warm kiss against your eyelids, but it doesn't penetrate the deepening fog within your mind. The sounds are muted, softened by the water, the waves becoming a constant, comforting thrum in your ears, the gulls their distant, meaningless cries. The wind whispers around the tower, a mournful sigh, but it brings no chill, only the scent of the sea and the relaxation. Oh, the deep, heavy relaxation. It's profound, absolute, like sinking into a warm, soft bed. But this bed is unyielding rock, yet the comfort is real. Every muscle uncoils, releasing tension with a sigh too deep to be heard. Every nerve ending tingles with this strange, pleasant warmth. Every thought, if there were any left, dissolves into the soft drone of the waves. There is only the breath, the breathing, matching the tide. In, out, a vast, infinite, gentle rhythm. The swell of the sea laps against something yielding, softening. It used to be rigid, a curve of stone, but now it's yielding, bending further with each slow, deep breath the water takes. The sound is still there, the whispering rush, the sighing foam, but it's less distinct now, like distant music heard underwater, muffled and indefinite. It washes over you, smooth and constant, a steady pressure against the edge of where you are and where the sea begins. The air, too, is changing. It wasn't always so warm, holding a sharp salt tang, biting at the lips. Now it's milder, the salt dissolving into the warmth, leaving only a faint, agreeable moisture on the skin. The wind has dropped. The sails, if there were any, would be limp now, sagging. There is no wind, just the endless, gentle rocking, the subtle tilt and sway. Perhaps you feel the water's rhythm deep in your bones, a resonant thrum beneath the surface calm. It's a comfortable pressure, a gentle insistence. And the lighthouse beam, that once sharp, unwavering line cutting through the dark water, now seems fainter. It dances, shifts, its intensity lessening, its focus blurring. It's still there, flickering occasionally, a promise of guidance that feels less certain, more like a reminder now, a soft pulse against the growing darkness. The beam spreads wider now, a diffuse, pale stain on the deepening gray, washing over the yielding curve, reflecting in the water with less brilliance. It doesn't burn anymore, it merely washes. Like the foam, like the air, like the sea itself. Your thoughts, they are less clear now, becoming part of the swell. Trying to grasp one is like reaching into frothy, shifting mist. Home. The word surfaces, dissolves. The cat. Another one gone, lost in the yielding curve. The book. The pages blurred. Where did it end? The sentences, they feel unfinished, dissolving like the spray caught in the air, evaporating before reaching the ground. The worry, the sharp edges of anxiety, they are dulling, softening. There's no urgency anymore. No need to hold on to distinctions, to define things sharply against the dark water. The world contracts, expands, contracts again, folding inwards, becoming simpler, flatter, softer. Perhaps you feel a weightlessness, a floating, not quite suspended in air, but in this yielding substance, this liminal space between sea and sky and self. The ground feels less solid, the floorboards creaking softly under this new, gentle pressure. They feel distant, indistinct, like another layer of foam. Your body feels part of the swaying. The individual parts seem to merge, to blend into the whole, a comfortable unity. There's no need for feet to push against the floor or hands to clutch at anything. The boundaries are softening, dissolving into the swell. The sea becomes a blur, not a sharp, distinct horizon, but a gradual, softening gradient from the pale gray of the near water to the deepest velvety black of the far horizon. The individual waves are lost, blurred into one continuous, gentle swell. The foam doesn't splash sharply, it melts, dissolves, becomes part of the air, part of the light, part of the softening whole. The colors are muted, desaturated by the pervasive gray and the growing darkness. The sky isn't a defined expanse anymore. It's a soft, darkening cloth, merging seamlessly with the deepening water. The distinction blurs. And you are here, but also not here. A soft, indefinite presence in this softening world. The mind drifts, fragments of memory or thought bobbing up like foam on the swell, then sinking back into the deep, formless gray. Names are forgotten almost before they are thought. Faces dissolve like salt in water. The need to grasp, to understand, to know, diminishes. It's easier to just be, to float, to yield. The lighthouse beam pulses again, a brief, gentle touch on the darkening water, a soft, warm stain spreading outwards. It fades just as quickly, leaving the yielding curve bathed in the cool, pervasive gray. The beam is gone again, perhaps not for a long time. It doesn't matter. The softness persists. The sounds deepen into long silences, broken only by the soft, continuous whisper of the water. It's a deep, pervasive quiet. The world inside and outside softens further, the edges receding, becoming indistinct, lost in the gentle swell. A brief movement catches the eye, not sharp, but a suggestion of shifting light on the yielding curve, a momentary highlight of foam. Then it's gone, lost in the softening blur. A deep breath, a slow exhale. The softness enfolds. The waves, soft sighs, brushing the stones. Beneath you, your body, heavy now, plumb, heavy, sinking deeper, still afloat in a current, very slow, very deep below the surface of consciousness, not sinking, not quite just, settling into the quiet, the deep quiet that lives in the hollows of the stones and the salt, hard, packed salt inside the hollows, whispering, a slow, low, soft sound just like the sea, but quieter still, a vibration deep in the bones, the teeth, the shell of your being resonating with the old, slow rhythm of the place, the lighthouse, the sea, the turning endlessly, but softly. Now the footsteps on the walkway are gone, muffled, distant, dreamlike. Now just the swell of the sea, the whisper, the vibration filling everything. You are adrift in the swell, the quiet, the turning of the world, or perhaps it's just the deep quiet inside you, spinning slowly around shimmers somewhere far above, or perhaps it's only the phosphorescence from the water, the deep green light from the depths, shimmering with the slow turn of the tide. A single beam of starlight, perhaps, or maybe the beacon light from below through the water, catching the phosphorescence, making it glow, a soft, sickly, green light illuminating the dark water around you, the gentle pull, the deep quiet, the soft sighing of the sea. Your thoughts drift to, floating on the current, the vibration dissolving into the deep quiet of the place, the lighthouse, the sea, the slow turning endlessly, softly, the swell, the phosphorescence, the starlight, the deep quiet. Your weight lessens further, the pull of the sea, the lighthouse drawing you down, down into its dark, soft depths, where the water is still and the quiet is deeper and the light is softer and the turning is slower, even slower, until it stops and the only thing left is the soft sound, the gentle sigh, the deep quiet, the slow vibration, and the feeling of floating, falling, sinking, gently, ever so gently, into the lighthouse, the sea, the deep quiet, the soft pull of sleep, enfolding you like the water, like the stone, like the deep quiet. Here, goodbye, it's time to rest. The soft sound fades into the deep quiet of sleep. The gentle sigh becomes the breath of dreams. The slow vibration stills. The sea outside is very calm, very still. The lighthouse is silent, its beacon dark. It's time to sleep, to rest here among the deep quiet, the soft sound, the slow turning of the world, or perhaps just of your own being, drifting forever, gently, softly, sinking deeper into the deep quiet of the sea and the lighthouse, and sleep, the soft sound lapping against the shore of consciousness, fading away into the deep quiet below the surface. You are safe here, resting in the deep quiet of the old lighthouse by the sea, resting, drifting on the soft sound, the gentle pull, the deep quiet, the slow vibration, the turning, stopping, the deep quiet, enfolding you completely, softly, gently. Now nothing but the deep quiet, the soft sound, the slow vibration, and the feeling of weightless drifting, falling softly, gently, into the deep quiet of sleep here by the sea, in the old lighthouse, resting, now resting finally at peace, in the deep quiet of the sea and the lighthouse, and sleep. The soft sound fades into the deep quiet, and stillness surrounds you, gentle, soft. A soft pull takes you down into the deep quiet surface of waking. Now the sea is deep and quiet. The lighthouse is still and silent. You are here resting. Softly, the deep quiet of the old lighthouse by the sea, listening to the deep quiet, the soft sound, the slow vibration, the gentle pull of sleep, enfolding you completely, softly, gently drifting, falling, sinking into the deep quiet of sleep, here by the sea, in the old lighthouse, safe, resting, finally at peace, in the deep quiet of the sea and the lighthouse and sleep. The soft sound fades into the deep quiet, and stillness surrounds you, gentle, soft. A soft pull takes you down, down into the deep quiet below the surface of waking. Now the sea is deep and quiet. The lighthouse is still and silent. You are here resting softly in the deep quiet of the old lighthouse by the sea. The deep quiet enfolds you gently, softly. The soft sound fades into nothingness, leaving only the deep quiet, the deep, deep quiet of the sea and the lighthouse and sleep. You are resting here in the deep quiet of the old lighthouse by the sea, drifting, falling, sinking into the deep quiet below the surface of waking. Now only the deep quiet surrounds you gently, softly. You are safe here in the deep quiet of the sea and the lighthouse and sleep. The deep quiet enfolds you gently, softly. You are at peace here in the deep quiet of the old lighthouse by the sea, resting softly in the deep quiet of the sea and the lighthouse and sleep. The deep quiet enfolds you gently, softly. You are resting here in the deep quiet of the old lighthouse by the sea, drifting, falling, sinking